Hello, so this is a quick thing I wrote on who is a professional helper. When I first entered the Human Services program at Eastern Maine Community College, I had never heard of the term professional helper. I put all people in the human services category as social workers. I was pleasantly surprised to learn all the individuals who are professional helpers, the characteristics these helpers share, typology of helpers, and the roles of professionals in human services. The simplest definition describes the professional helping relationship as being established between two or more people for the purpose of giving and receiving help. To help this relationship, the professionals tend to share certain characteristics. These characteristics are self-awareness, the ability to communicate, empathy, responsibility, and commitment, and flexibility. Based on this definition and the characteristics of a helper, there are three main classifications or typology that human services helpers fall under. So you have specialists, human service professionals, and non-professionals, which are the three categories. So given the above information, I will reflect on who is a helper and how I can use this information to improve my own ability to be a good helper. As I mentioned above, I've never heard of the term before starting college at Eastern Maine Community College. The information seemed powerfully positive to me. There are so many different roles a helper can have. In all these roles, helpers share characteristics, values, ideals, and motivations. These shared traits are all to help the client and share information about the client. Effective helpers are individuals whose thinking, emotions, and behaviors are integrated. Helpers believe that each client is unique and greet each client by name with a smile. Hearing the above statement made me think about how I would greet a client if I was first meeting them. Given cultural differences, I wouldn't want to offend anyone's culture because part of their culture makes up an entire person. Professionally, I have encountered, I have always called by name before asking what my preferences are. So what I meant to say this is professionals have always encountered me by name before asking my preference. So, hey Muriel, how you doing? Is there anything else you'd like to be called? No? Okay. Another thought was, what are my personal motivations and values towards helping my clients? Our book describes money as a small concern compared with functions of the job itself. The top reason individuals choose a helping profession is a desire to help others. For me, it is a desire to help others like I have had professionals help me in the past. I have had a lot of amazing people help me through my journey. They have all helped me in all areas of my life. Doing this kind of work is a way for me to give back to a community that has given so much to me. It is a journey within itself. The values that are shared among the human service roles are acceptance, tolerance, individuality, self-determination, and confidentiality. To me, all of these are important because as a helper, we need to accept the client, be tolerant of them, respect their individuality and privacy, and allow our clients to make their own decisions. Besides the above values I mentioned, I professional value promoting self-advocacy and assisted advocacy, education, and cultural diversity. So besides the above values, professionals promote self-advocacy, assisted advocacy, education, and cultural difference. Self-advocacy can be difficult for a lot of clients. Clients may feel like they have no rights or power to advocate for their own needs. Assisting a client advocating for them may be necessary. I will always value advocacy in all forms. When I say I value education, I don't mean just school, but education on choices, decisions, services, and care. A client should have the education to have input into their own care. Finally, I value each individual client's cultural diversity and aim to keep myself informed. In the first paragraph, I mentioned greeting clients, but due to someone's cultural identity, they may find like a handshake offensive. So Beyond a helper's values are the characteristics that individuals share. These characteristics are self-awareness, the ability to communicate, empathy, responsibility, commitment, and flexibility. In myself, I can see all these characteristics and continued growth in each area as I make my way through college. Discussions around self-awareness and cultural diversity has made me think about stereotypes, biases, and stigma that I believed. These things had been embedded in my head through media, friends, family, and many other societal relationships. Understanding these thoughts more and aiming to change my attitude and feelings will promote the helping relationship instead of hindering it. The ability to communicate is a skill I always thought I had. In most situations, even if my anxiety was acting up, I could communicate without anyone knowing I was shy and anxious. But the ability to communicate isn't just about being able to talk. It's about being able to talk calmly in a way that can be understood. Communication is about listening to all the non-verbal and non-verbal cues the client may be communicating to me. As far as empathy, I know how empathetic I am. I haven't really learned anything new in that area. I've always felt a responsibility and commitment to improve the lives of others. Personally, I know I need to work on being more flexible, but not sure how I can improve that characteristic. The simplest definition describes the professional helping relationship as being established between two or more people for the purpose of giving and receiving help. The helper in this relationship wants the client's quality of life to improve. Knowing their own characteristic values and motivations can help the helper be better at their job and create some self-knowledge. As a professional, I plan on keeping myself educated in all areas by attending classes, workshops, and seminars to promote helper excellence. The information I discuss can be applied in many ways. The first way this information can be applied is through communication with the client. They can start a conversation around the cultural needs and have the client review the helper. This can help with some feedback, especially if the helper keeps seeing the same things written over and over. The conversation could have also provide needed insight into your own reflections. The second way this information can be applied is to sit and think about different groups of people and images. What is your immediate thought and reaction around this individual? If these thoughts seem biased and misinformed, a professional can learn more about whatever stereotypes, biases, and negative reactions they hold. Finally, this information can be applied during your entire career. If you can figure out exactly what your values are, whenever you make a choice, you can stop and think, does this align with my values? In conclusion, a helper is someone who helps another individual, and while doing so, can help explore themselves. So that's it for this on who is a professional helper. Sorry if it's a little confusing, but anyway.